You're listening to Cards to the Moon, a podcast about trading cards from both a collector and investor perspective. We hope you'll stick around for the ride as we take a deep dive into the state of the hobby, share some hot takes, hopefully some useful advice, and fun stories along the way. Hey guys, welcome back to Cards to the Moon. This is episode 362. My name is Clark from 5cardguys.com. You can also find me at 5cardguys on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on TikTok. Co-hosting with me today is John, who is at TradeU at Recess on Instagram. Hyung's away for April, but not to worry. We've been lucky to have all the other co-hosts step up this month. So, John, off the top today, I want to actually get your thoughts on something that Will, Roy, and I, we talked about in last week's podcast episode, and that's the American Express credit card in partnership with Fanatics. We talked about some of the perks, including a 5% Fanatics cashback on eligible purchases, early access to Topps products in the future. That was the one I was most excited about. And Fanatics Fest perks. That festival is coming up pretty soon. Will says he's all for it because I think he buys a lot of cards anyways. So this is an added bonus for him. Roy says he doesn't, so he's not really interested. So John, you're going to be the tiebreaker. What do you think about this brand new credit card?
The more I thought about it as we were doing our notes, I think I'm fine with it. I think it's good.
Oh, okay.
At first, there's some, and I guess we can talk about this later as well, but I'm not a fan of this whole sort of how the culture of our collecting space right now. The industry is kind of going towards breaking and this sort of gambling aspect, right? Like
Right.
if we go on this gambling trajectory, what's the market for gambling? There's gazillions of dollars. So as we go to that, could we 10x the sports card market if it gets more into the gambling aspect? 100%. So I think that's
Right.
in terms of money to be made, it's clear the direction that they're taking. And something like a credit card, I think the skeptic or if I want to be a critic, it just feeds into that machine so much more. So in that way, I'm not a fan of it. But if we're looking at it just from a benefits perspective, I think it's good. Overall, I think it makes sense. If for myself, for example, if I got the card, not that I would use it that often, but even like you were saying, for the fact that you get early access, there's some perks to it where you don't necessarily have to be spending money. I think that's good. And if you're a hardcore collector and you're spending, 200, 300, 400, maybe $1,000 a month, why not? Why not get some money back? That's going to help you purchase a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little bit on Roy's side at first, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I think it's good. I think for collectors, why not? Why not have a card that can help you and help your cause?
See, this is why I wanted John to have his input on this particular issue, because everyone knows, all our loyal listeners on the pod, John is our moral conscience of the podcast. He always, say, hey, hold up, guys. This breaking thing could lead to disastrous personal things and the whole gambling aspect. So without you at the podcast last week, we're kind of off the rails. We're like, yeah, why not? Let's just spend it like crazy and just encourage this gambling behavior. But Will did kind of very briefly address it. His counterpoint is that if that's an issue, which is a serious issue, I'm not making light of that, but right. This credit card, there's other credit cards where you'll have that same issue, right? Whether it's an American Express in partnership with Fanatics Fest, you're going to have this kind of, spending problem. Like whether it's this credit card or some other credit card. But, certainly this doesn't make it any easier, right? But I get it both ways. So yeah, I think that's a good point. And, if you're responsible and kind of like what you were saying at the end, if you're spending a certain amount on the hobby, This is just an added perk. Why not? Right? No annual fee.
Mhm.
And I forgot to mention, if you if you spend $1,000 a month for a year, you get a free jersey. And then the joke is, essentially you're paying $12,000 for a free jersey, but but it's added perk. Okay, you don't do it just for the free jersey, guys. Okay, so that's all I'm
Right.
saying. But yeah, appreciate your input on that. All right, let's move on to hobby headlines. So again, last week we talked about some of the announcements from the Topps Industry Conference, more high level, more of the headlines that came out of the conference, like the credit card we just talked about. But there was a lot more that was talked about, including like a lot of upcoming products. So I thought for today's episode, we'll do a part 2 of the Topps Industry Conference recap episode. And yeah, we'll just cover the rest of what I think are really interesting announcements, and let's get our thoughts on them. So first, John, you were actually mentioning how there were a lot of nice inserts or sets that Topps will be releasing soon. And the first one I saw was the 2026 Bowman Baseball set will have gold ink autographs numbered to 15. Your thoughts on gold ink autographs?
I mean, who doesn't like gold ink or silver ink?
No
Yeah, it's
brainer.
great. I think whatever you're about to present, I'm going to be all for it. I've mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not parallels like donut circle refractors and just the previous years of laziness of trying to increase the chase. Uh,
Mm.
um, the good thing about Fanatics in you know in conjunction with Topps, they're really making an effort, obviously, to grow the hobby and create a lot of excitement. They've got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money to back it up as well, and a lot of resources to back it up. So this is where their power is really coming in. Gold ink autos, getting the players, whatever, like once we start moving to relic jerseys that have specific games where they were, Topps now clearly already kind of started with that.
Yeah.
But I think this is the direction that's going, and I'm 100% for it. As long as it's not lazy parallels, as long as it's fresh and new and creates that excitement, and the chase is, like a legitimate collector chase. It's like
Mm.
we legitimately want this. We don't want red donut circles and Nova Wave parallel out of 10. Like, no, we don't want that manufacturer stuff. I think this is the step in the right direction. So any of these upcoming, um
Yeah.
I was pretty excited. I didn't get to see the entire list, but from what I saw in some of the Instagram posts, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was all for it. It looked amazing.
Nice. Well, I'm curious if you would consider this next one kind of a lazy play or a smart play, right? So I'll explain what I mean by
Right.
that. 2025 Topps Chrome Football was just released. They got the license, so that was a big deal. Everyone's excited about it. I actually tried to get in the EQL line to get a hobby box for $350, which is crazy. It's kind of expensive. Didn't matter
Yeah.
because I didn't get access to it. It's just sold out right away. So,
Yeah,
but
that's another issue.
that's another issue. But the
Yeah.
Topps Chrome football kind of following the playbook of baseball. So this is where I'm curious whether you think it's a lazy play or just smart because it works for baseball. The Sapphire Chrome is going to be coming out. That's going to be coming out. They're also having MVP buybacks. In baseball, if you win an MVP and you have their base or parallel or chrome, you could get store credit at a local card shop that's participating in MVP buybacks. So this year, Topps Chrome Football, the MVP buyback is for Matthew Stafford. And then also from the baseball playbook is their premier patches, which is the equivalent of the MLB debut patch. Any of those three things you like, or you think it's like, rinse and repeat, but it's a smart thing to do? What's your take on that set?
The Sapphire is going to be a separate product, right? It's not like an insert.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. These are things that have been working in the past, and the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they work is because collectors and people like it, right? And things like MVP buybacks, of course we'd want that. Of course we'd want our base cards that are essentially not worth anything to be worth $20 or whatever in store credit.
Yeah,
Like the more that collectors and people who are opening packs, like the more we have the opportunity to get, well, for hardcore collector, I don't want to call it just return on investment, but that's the way you look at it, right? Like as you open
sure.
a box, you want to know how much did I get out of this box, right? Not just like the pure collection standpoint. So it gives back to the collector, which is great. And in terms of like the Sapphire product, I mean that is at this point it's an iconic set. I think it should come with any of the sports. It's a given. And then things like premier patches and stuff, as they add more to the chase, 100% for it. Because right now, I think everyone can kind of agree the ROI, the return on investment, because they're printing so much. It's pretty brutal, and the cost of the
Yeah.
boxes, and you kind of mentioned how you missed out on Top Scrum football, and I don't want to open up a can of worms, but this is my biggest gripe on the breaking culture is that the breaking culture
Right.
is kind of determining the economics
Hmm.
of hobby boxes and cards, right? The collectors are sort of left only with mega boxes from Walmart or Target, like that. You can't really the hobby boxes just get swallowed up by breakers. So um, yeah, that
Yeah.
that's that's the tough part right now. But yeah, overall, I think that as they add more, yeah, it'd be great for us collectors.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult problem to solve. We actually touched upon it a bit in our Just a Thought segment last week, and Will was mentioning, why don't collectors or non-breakers, non-stores get first access? Let the collectors get what they want, and then it goes to breakers. But, there's other things you need to address with that as well. So it's a complex problem, but yeah, something we need to think about. I want to go back to the Premiere patches for a second. I don't know if you like it or not. Premiere, if you saw it, is the I in Premiere is actually a number one. You like it or
I don't mind. I don't mind.
okay?
The
Okay,
premiere with the one inserted. It makes sense. I could care less. I just care that it's game used. It's
yes,
got to
that's the
be
more
game
important part.
used. Yeah, don't come with this new premiere patches and try to sell us on it. And it's one of these, you know, was it like not from any specific game or event worn or player worn? I don't want none of that. Like at this point going forward, if you're gonna market some of these like supposedly great inserts, it's got to be great. It's got to be game used 100%. Otherwise, it means absolutely nothing.
I want to make a clarification because just looking at the announcement from the Topps Industry Conference, and I was wondering because Premiere patches have been out since 2023, so it's not new. But I
Oh,
guess
really?
what is new is 2025 Topps Chrome Football. They're introducing NFL Premier Patch Autos. So I don't know if the autograph part is new. Maybe we can get clarification on that. But I believe it'll be a one of one, these Premier Patch Autos. So
Oh, damn.
that's going to be a big chase. Speaking of debut patches, I think the UFC 2026 Topps Chrome UFC will have debut patches, and I believe that's what they're calling it. So I guess there's no
Nice.
standard but for the naming of these patches. But any thoughts on UFC? You think it's a fad, or you think it's still popular? I feel like it's kind of similar to F1, me personally, where it had its
Mhm.
peak and it didn't completely die off, but it's certainly regressed. What are your thoughts?
I think UFC overall, there was a period, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, where I think every male on the planet was into UFC.
Yeah.
Similar to back in the Rock and Stone Cold, like every male was into WWE at one point, and they kind of go through waves. F1 obviously I mean, F1's still doing pretty good, but UFC has, it's simmered down, and I think clearly if they're still making boxes like a standalone product, it's definitely from a money standpoint, it's still strong enough, and obviously they're doing
Hmm.
sales. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't think you and I would probably chase or collect anything, but from
Right.
every Topps Chrome that comes out, whatever sport it is, the fact that they're doing the debut patches, I think that is awesome. I
Yeah, that's
think
yeah,
they, right. At this point, I think the debut patches from the popularity of baseball, it's going to be probably one of the biggest grail hunts you could find. And you
for
can
sure.
get the grail from a standard Topps Chrome box. I think I'm such a fan of that.
Mm,
It's not, the NBA logos are awesome. I could only dream of owning one, but you can't even the standard collector can't even chase it because it comes from a $10,000 flawless box, right? Like the
yeah.
debut patch is, the odds of getting it is 0.001%, but
Yeah.
you know, like Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, you're telling me there's a chance, like you can hit it. So I'm a big fan of the debut patch.
Yeah, me too. As long as they keep the Topps Chrome, which is, kind of what you're alluding to, the Topps Chrome set in general, the name, the brand is iconic. As long as they keep that at a certain price level, right? And, if to do that, they might have to print a lot more Topps Chrome products or boxes. But, there is a chance to hit one of these grail cards, like you were saying. All right, one more kind of set that was introduced. At this industry conference, and I should have asked Will about it. I totally forgot. Topps Royalty WWE boxes. I guess there's 6 autographs per box, and they're also ring worn relics. Whatever that means. So ring worn relics on these WWE wrestlers. It was funny when we talked about it last week. Year over year, the last 365 days, all the card ladder index for every category, sports and non-sports, is in the green, which we kind of, might have guessed because the hobby's been on fire lately, except for one category, which happens to be wrestling. So we're like, Will, are you worried? And he seems to be fine, and he's like, maybe I'm delusional, but he's going all in on something that's going the other way, trending downwards. But he thinks it's because there hasn't been a lot of product launches recently in the last several months. So with such few launches, you might see that trend, like no one's buying because it's all kind of old. Now you got this Topps Royalty WWE set, so maybe next year we'll see the trend go the opposite way with newer sets and boxes of WWE products coming out. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I don't know if you have any thoughts on WWE cards.
Yeah, I mean, I think WWE is in its niche place, similar to UFC. I'm perfectly fine with it. I think it's pretty awesome that they finally came back out with like Stone Cold autos and
Mm-hmm.
most especially The Rock. I don't know how much those go for, but I think Will mentioned at least like 2 grand for like a base,
Ooh.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure the wider collecting audience, like you and I, would be interested in The Rock. This is not
Mm-hmm.
specific to WWE loyal fans.
Yeah.
In terms of the product itself, royalty, I don't know what that is. But it seems high end. If you're getting 6 autos per box, I'd imagine this is a pretty expensive box. So probably more on the high end for WWE products.
Yep.
That sounds pretty awesome to me. Like a hobby box coming with 6 autos. Um, Hopefully it's not that expensive. And yeah, ring worn relics again. Game used, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for it. As long as it's not player worn, event used, not from any specific event or game or what. Like I'm all for it. Ring worn, game used, all of that stuff. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Fanatics is going that way anyways, right? Making sure that
Right.
these it's not like just player worn or anything like that. So yes, we're all for that. Kudos to Fanatics for going in that direction. All right, last couple things, and I think this is more of an interesting discussion. Fanatics Collect Redemptions Reimagined. That's what they're calling this slide. And what they're saying is that redemptions are moving from Topps to Fanatics Collect. And now, once the redemption is pulled, you got a redemption card, collectors can transact the card at any point in the fulfillment process, not just after the card ships. So there's that kind of like, I guess you could decide exactly what you want to do with your redemption. before receiving it and then, flipping it or vaulting it or doing whatever with it. You could decide beforehand, I guess. That's what it's saying. And, or you could grade it. I guess you could, instead of coming right to you as a raw card or encased card, you can get it graded and then it comes to you. That's another option. And speaking of grading for redemptions, there is, for some cards, a possible grade guarantee on the biggest hits in select products. So I guess if it's not in good condition, then I don't know if they'll reproduce it and get the guy to sign it again, like the athlete to sign it again. But for some of these really high hit, probably like MLB debut patches or one of these debut patches, there is a grade guarantee if you decide to grade it from, this point, the beginning of the redemption process. So your thoughts on this new kind of redemption process overall?
I think it's okay. I mean,
okay.
I think the more you allow, it doesn't seem like crazy news, to be honest. But the more there is to allow flexibility in whatever in this space, right? So they're moving to, once the redemption is pulled, collector can transact at any point in the fulfillment process. How often is that going to happen? Maybe not often, but at least the option is there in case you kind of get stuck in transit or whatever. You redeem it and the player is just popping off and you're kind of stuck in limbo. You don't know when the card's going to come to you. So it gives people some more flexibility. I think that's definitely good. The grade guarantee. Yeah, like I don't know if you recall, but like way back in the day, this is probably the early years of our podcast. I was always of the opinion, hey, like I personally thought all one of ones, and this is a bit of a hot take, I can understand, but I thought all one of ones should be redemptions. Like I don't really want my one of one to be in a pack, but I get it. Like pulling the one of one,
Right.
in the pack is probably, I think it's because I've never experienced it that I'm saying this. All the other collectors that have pulled it, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about, John? Like
Yeah.
pulling it out of pack is probably the greatest feeling in the world. I 100% agree. But from the fickle collector standpoint, you pull the one of one, it's like damage. It's like a PSA 3. That would kind of suck too. Like you'd want your
Yeah.
one of one. So I would think if you're going to do redemptions, the one of one should be a redemption and it should already come graded. I think I mentioned this like 3 years ago. And I think this sort of grade guarantee is kind of on that path. Obviously, it's only with redemption, so it's with specific to a player that didn't sign in time,
Right.
and they probably have the card sitting in their warehouse, and they're like, you know what, it's the guy signed it here. It never went out for mailing into the product, so we can guarantee it's going to be a certain condition.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
again not the biggest news, but another little why not? Sure, we'll take it.
I mean, John, you're ahead of your time. Yeah, I do vaguely recall you mentioning something like that. So they finally listened to you, John. and
Yeah.
Come on, Tops, give John his proper credit for the great guarantee. And I've never pulled a one of one either, so I don't know that feeling. But we should ask Will. He's pulled multiple one of ones, so let's see if he agrees with your stance that they should all be redemption cards, or if the feeling of pulling a one of one out of a pack is something we all need to experience at least once in our life. I don't know. But all right, last one. And knowing how you feel about breaks, I don't know which way you're going to go, but there's a break to vault, I guess, option that they're offering for Fanatics. I'm assuming Fanatics collect breaks. They're into breaking as well. So any cards you hit in those breaks can now be routed directly to the Fanatics vault, or shipped home, or sent straight to grading. So another kind of similar to what we just talked about, but from a breaking standpoint, if you hit a card, they're essentially cutting out the middleman. You could decide what to do right from them. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think Fanatics is this kind of like a control play? Do you know what I mean? Like trying to control every step of the process this way. What are your thoughts?
Again, it's another option. It's another added convenience for the collector. I'm 100% for it. Yeah, I think that's great. And to be clear, like there's aspects of breaking that I that really grind my gears, and we already kind of talked about it. It's like the whole like, the ecosystem of how
Right.
the money works, and it's kind of stealing from the collectors, and then the whole gambling aspect.
Yes.
But I get it. The reason why breaking is so successful and why so many and even local like hobby card shops are making so
Mm.
much money from breaking is because it's popular and people like it. And we've tried it ourselves, and it's actually kind of fun, right? Like it's another way of ripping into cards. So I get it. And if
Yeah.
you're going to be doing it anyways, to have more and more options in terms of like for your convenience,
Hmm.
yeah, let's do it. The more they continue to add to this stuff, um, and like they're doing their best to kind of break barrier to entry, right? I'm sure there's tons of collectors that have never, they're sitting on the sidelines that are shaking their fists at breaking,
Hmm.
that never tried it, and they're really trying to entice them. Like eliminating as many barriers as possible
Yeah.
to get people into it.
Yeah.
You can criticize, and I think I'm kind of with this point. You can criticize. You're gonna send people down the wrong path, in terms of like the whole gambling aspect. But yeah, it is at what it is. It is what it is at this point. This is the nature of the hobby. Like this is a unstoppable moving force. So
Yes.
you just gotta you just gotta accept it.
I mean, we're not going to ban casinos anytime soon, and gambling is supposed to be a
Exactly.
form of entertainment. So everything in moderation. Another
Yeah.
point I would like to add to that is, for some people that are not really deep into the hobby, breaking could be, like we said, kind of a form of entertainment. But if they hit something big, maybe they're not a collector. Maybe they don't need to to hold the card in their hand. They would rather vault it and then see it more as an investment, or an alternative asset class, like the Kevin O'Leary types. They're like, this is even better because I don't have to deal with it. If if someone shipped it to O'Leary, I bet he wouldn't know what to do with it exactly. He's like, okay, I get to hold the card. I'm going to just give it to someone who knows what to do with it. This is kind of easier. You just click a button, or you just tell the
Right.
breaker, can you just send it to a secure vault, and let me know how I can access it whenever I want to, or whenever I can see the card. Just give me the simple directions, and that's all I need to know. Or grade it first and then go to a vault. So I think it's, again, no brainer for this to finally happen, and I could see other
Right.
breakers. If Fanatics Collect's the only one offering this right now, I could see other breakers partnering with either Fanatics Collect or eBay or other vault services to provide this service. Essentially, like, hey, break with us. If you hit it, we'll ship it out to grading, or we could put it into a vault for you, your personal vault with eBay, with Fanatics Collect, wherever you want to. And I think that's just lowering barriers again. So I'm all for it. I love it. Yeah, this is what we need, right? Kind of these steps forward to making things just generally easier for people in the hobby. All right.
100%.
Amazing. Let's go on to, I think we covered a lot of it already for the Topps Industry Conference. Hopefully we could personally go out to one of these. It'll be kind of cool to see live in person. I think they have it in Arizona every year in some kind of stadium. So it's a big deal. But anyone listening from Topps, we would appreciate an invite for the Cards to the Moon podcast people, all right? And then we'll be out there next year, hopefully. Okay. Next segment's called Over Under. All right, so the over-under theme for this episode, again, Shohei Ohtani. His cards are going wild, and I thought I actually read this article from Yahoo, which I'm going to take most of the information from for this over-under. And the title of the Yahoo article was 5 Shohei Ohtani baseball cards that 10x'd in just 3 years. Okay, so
Oh boy.
I'm going to give you five cards if you have time, 4 for sure. Ohtani cards that they list. I'll give you what it sold for 3 years ago, and then I'll give you a number. You tell me if it's over or under what it sold for recently. Okay? So the first one, the 2013 BBM Genesis number 55 PSA 10 card. So it's one of the Japanese cards before he came to the
Japanese,
big leagues.
right.
Yep. The BBM set, 2013. 3 years ago, it sold for $486. All right. The PSA 10. So under 500. Recent sale, over or under 5,000?
Man, 10x Ohtani from 3 years ago is nothing. I think I saw some that are like 30x. I swear, whatever you're going to present to me, it should be over on all of them.
Yes.
5,000 for, I mean, I remember looking at that car for $400, $500. Yeah, that sounds crazy, by the way. Because that's BBM is like a base paper card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think it's over, but I think you're gonna try to trick me off the hop. And you're wanting me to say over. So I'm going to go under.
You see, you do this to yourself all the time. It's over $5,500. Yeah, and you know, while
I thought too deeply.
While you're talking about that, I feel like the title kind of gives it away. They all 10x to a certain degree, so it's gonna be around the number I give you. So I don't know how fun this is, because it's you can't be wildly off. But you know what? I wasn't as prepared today, so let's just continue to go with it. So the 2018, so his rookie year, Topps Chrome, MLB rookie year, Topps Chrome pitching blue refractor rookie card. Okay, so it's him in his pitching stance, Topps Chrome blue, number to 150, PSA 10. So 3 years ago, if anything, this will be just an eye opener for where the Ohtani market is right now. But
totally.
Sale 3 years ago, just over $1,500, $1,500. Right. So 10x will be 15,000. Do you think it's over or under the 15,000 10x mark? Oh, exactly. Yeah. Man. So it's around there, but yeah.
Yeah, it's around there. I mean, there are some cards that are not as crazy popular. I remember looking at the pitching refractors, and they were generally not as volatile and super popular. So I mean, you're just, like you said, I think you're putting the number right around that number. So I mean, it's believable. It's there. I'll say it's under.
It sold for 20,100 in March, so it's over. All right,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you're gonna have this. I don't know if you're gonna have this card on the list, but I remember looking at the 2018 paper SSP Ohtani. I don't know if you remember. I was always like listening. I'm like, I think I want to go for this card. It's about 1,500. I feel like that's as low as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody list one recently. It was like 20 grand. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's sickening.
Anything Ohtani, if you're not in on it right now and you had Ohtani's back in the day, it's painful.
I'm gonna do a video on this on my YouTube and Instagram channel, but remember that the Topps Chrome base rookie auto that I had for $500.
Yeah.
I bought it on eBay for 500. I just checked. I shouldn't have checked, but I just checked the price that sold for recently. $30,000.
No way.
I'm looking to buy a car that could have covered a big chunk of that car that I need. Oh man, this is like,
holy cow!
It's the Ohtani market. It's
yeah. The Sapphire I had, I think last year just sold for like 13,000 or something, and I bought it for $350. I mean, I sold it for 4,500. It wasn't bad, but man, 13,000.
We all have. If you owned an Ohtani 2-3 years ago, we all have the same story right now because we probably sold it way too early. All right. Actually, I'll do a couple more. All right. Let's do this is more for Will because it's non-licensed. The 2022 Panini Absolute Kaboom card, PSA 10. 3 years ago, it sold for $1,637. All right. So 10x would be 16,000. Did it go over or under that number, 16,000? What do you think for the Panini Kaboom?
I think that's a big one. I think that one's over.
Oh, okay. Wow. I thought you were going to go under for sure. You're right. 22,800 recent sale for a non-licensed.
I should just be picking over every time.
All right, last one. Oh, this is a fun one because I don't know if you've seen. I've seen a lot of IG posts on this recently. The Ohtani 2023 tops all aces PSA 10 card. So that looks like the ace in the deck of cards, but Ohtani's pitching on it, and it's been making the news because the 2023 all aces, the print run was a bit higher. You know, it was not as difficult to find those inserts in those Topps products back then. But since then, the 2024 and 2025 all aces sets, they drastically reduced the print run to like under 1,000. So now, for some reason, the 2023 one, which is over 1,000, at least 1,000 print run, probably 2,000, they're still selling for a bunch because there's this optic that, oh, even the 2023 one print runs are lower. Anyway, the whole thing is like, why are people paying this much for the 2023 one? But 3 years ago, you could have bought it for $90, right? When it first came out, you're like, oh, everyone's getting these all aces inserts. Recent sale, so 10x would be 900, over or under that.
That's wild. 900 for like a base insert.
Right.
I'm gonna say I think it sounds like it's a card that's over $1,000, like similar to the Topps. What's like the fake patch auto?
The fake patch auto.
What's that called again? You know the oh my gosh, that
Oh
Topps
yeah,
card. That's
the commemorative.
that's like
commemorative patch.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah that's selling for like 4 grand or something. I think it's kind of in that category. So I'm gonna say it sounds like it's probably gonna be like $1,000, $1,500 card.
So you're going over. The correct answer is over with just $1,212 recently. So, I mean, you're right. You should just say over for everything. At this point, it's over for whatever number you think it is. It's over that. Okay, so
yeah. I misunderstood the original question. I didn't realize you were gonna just like literally math 10x the last sale. I thought this was like the top 10 list, but I realized after the fact that the top 10 list that you were talking about was just in reference to the theme.
Yes, now you got it. All right, that was a fun over under. Ohtani prices, we'll keep an eye out. It's got to regress at some point, or does it? I don't know anymore. Nothing surprises me with the Ohtani card market. All right, let's finish off this episode with our regular weekly segment we call Pick One. All right, John, you want to start things off for us?
Yeah, let's do it. So mine is gonna look like, we all know the popularity of case hits, right? Like, we've seen the kabooms, we've seen yada yada yada, and Fanatics is getting a lot more creative in their case hits. They're realizing. I think they're also making them a lot more limited, right? Like I think the last iteration of a couple of years ago, the kabooms it was getting too crazy. They're supposed to be SSP. You could get them like 1 out of 5 blaster boxes. Like it was getting a little bit too wild. And I think they're realizing, okay, let's make some really cool inserts. Let's make them super rare. So people are liking it. Like the new mangas, you got the Mahomes manga wearing kind of like the Jon Snow jacket.
Yes.
You've got the Joker and the Steph Currys. The all aces, the all kings, making those super rare. It's got like all of these inserts have really excellent eye appeal.
Yep.
So all that being said, my 1v1 is going to be from an collector investment standpoint. Would you rather the inserts long term for whatever iconic player or their equivalent money valued rookie cards? So if you're going for like the Joker manga, for example, I don't know how much that costs right now, 20,000. What's the equivalent Joker rookie card? Like a light blue prism out of 150. I don't know what it is, but line up the values equal. Which would you rather have long term? And I feel like I may have posed this question to you before, and I feel like you're on the rookie card side. So I built this to try to convince you to get away from the rookie card.
Yes,
because I'm gonna give my answer right away. I'm for the insert.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I think the new age of collector and a lot of the younger kids, and I mean, you and I are getting convinced of this as well. Like when I look at the Mahomes manga, when I look at the Joker manga, I prefer that over the rookie card. I think the eye appeal looks sick. I think it's rare enough.
Yeah.
I'd want that for my personal collection. So when you look back, in rookie card space, I
Mm-hmm.
think a great example is the Jordan Fleer. Like everyone's like, oh, the Jordan, that's like the go-to. You got to get the rookie card. But you know what? What's more expensive? The PMG. The PMG
Right.
blows it out of the water. It like long
Mm.
term. It crushed the
Oh, that's
Fleer
a good point.
86.
Yeah.
So long term, what are we looking at here? But and I think the game to be played here also is making sure out of all of these case hits, you choose the right one. At some point, one of these is going to be the next PMG. We don't know yet which one is
Right.
it. Is it the All Kings? Is it the manga? We don't know.
Yeah.
So that's another game to play within this. But the question is, would you rather one of
Yeah.
these case hits to the equivalent rookie card? Rookie card
Excellent. Yeah.
or case hit?
Excellent 1v1. I love this. And um, your Michael Jordan comparison was really good. But then you kind of answered all of my counterpoints already. Like you got to make sure you get the right case hit. Obviously the home field advantage is the winner out of all these, right?
Yeah, there's
Because it's because I'm a collector. But no, like I mean, there are for every case hit that has tremendous value, there are, I would argue, 5, 6, 7 that just won't hold value over the long term. So for me, and then with the MJ too, right? If you get a PSA 10 Fleer, that's gonna just have good value, really good value for a long time. So great condition rookie card. I think for me that's the fundamental of baseball card or sports card collecting. Rookie, high grade rookie cards. And
Yep.
I think it's a safe bet. Whereas case hits
Safe.
are
Correct.
short. Like I still see it as short-term flips for me. I can agree with you that some of these cards look
Mm,
sick, especially the mangas, but I don't know like if it's a fad or if it's really hyped up now and that's why the value is there. And I don't know which one will be that next PMG. There's just too many variables to know which one will be the winner. Whereas the rookie card, you have your top 2 or 3, Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome for baseball, the ones to get. And if the player himself or herself turns out, then that's who you're banking on, the player itself, not the card set or anything like that. So I think I probably said
right.
this the last time you presented this. I'm sticking with the rookie card because I think that's the fundamentals. And if I get a case hit, I'm overjoyed, but I'm listing it on eBay.
Right. I'll also add one last point, and maybe I
Okay.
can turn. I don't think I can turn you, but at least for the listeners,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with the case hits, especially the really popular ones, right? You're going
Mm-hmm.
to get the mangas, you're going to get the All Kings, you're going to get the Kabooms.
Yeah.
There is also an element of when you talk about safety and you talk about set collecting,
Mm-hmm.
the clientele that's going after it, sometimes it's not and the thing I like about the case hits, it's not necessarily about the player. Sometimes the high-end collectors looking to complete the set,
Hmm.
similar to how a lot of these vintage sets have like Joe Schmo PSA 10s going for like tens of thousands of dollars because there's people hardcore collecting the entire set. There's a
Right.
different reason to go for that card. And another side example, the reason why I bring it up is my Rory PMJ McIlroy, right?
Right.
When
Sure.
you look at the spectrum of what his best card is or his rookie card,
Mm-hmm.
like the reason why the Rory PMG, which is a Upper Deck employee exclusive numbered out of, I think it's 125, why it does so well, it actually value wise, it much outperforms his rookie patch autos. It's because it appeals not just to golf collectors, like it's appealing to everyone that's collecting that Upper Deck year PMG like exclusive set, which includes Hulk Hogan, it includes Mike
Sure.
Tyson, et cetera, right? It's not just about Rory. So I think there's that also added aspect
Hmm.
um, of the collecting the set portion that'll supersede
Yes.
the player itself, which adds to the safety of the investment.
Point well taken. And
Mm.
I'm still sticking with rookie, but you might have
I,
convinced
I know, I
other
know, I
people.
know.
of it. But I'm glad you brought Rory. Are you selling that card or are you keeping? Like, this is a great time, isn't it? To
I
consider
know
your
it's
options.
a big moment. It's a big moment. Yeah, I'm highly considering. The problem is that I was um, planned to go to the expo, but I don't think I can make it
Yes.
anymore. So I'm gonna have to
Oh.
rely on Will to help me wheel and deal a little bit.
All right. Well, we have booths. Will, Roy, and I all have booths. So yeah, we'll try to help you out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
need your assistance.
Anytime, anytime. All right. We'll do a finish off with my pick one really quick. We kind of mentioned it. The all aces, Shohei Ohtani, PSA 10. I think the pop count. Let me actually double check. The pop count is for PSA 10. Oh,
Is this
just
the
under
common year or the
3,000.
latest?
2023, sorry, the first all aces year where the
Right, this is
pop count
the
was
quote
higher.
unquote common year. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's right. Yeah, common year. Yeah, so 2,864 PSA 10s. All right, so definitely higher than
Still
2024 and
pretty
2025.
right. Still
Yeah,
fairly low.
yeah.
I mean, it's like low in
I guess
Pokemon standards.
yeah, everything's relative. So the all aces PSA 10 going
Yeah.
for about 1,200 right now, or would you want and I'm choosing like Otani cards that are around the $1,000 marks because there are some that
Correct.
are out there, but this is what you're stuck with. Not stuck with, but this is what's available. The All Aces PSA 10 or the 2024 Topps 50/50 set, which has a lot of different refractors. There's an orange one, and it's home run number 23. So it's not number 1 or number 50, which is the more desired, more valued ones, but there is a 2024 Topps 50/50 Shohei Ohtani orange refractor, chrome refractor, PSA 10 as well, number to 25, of course, for 1,300. So let's say 12, 1,300. That's your budget. Which one would you rather buy?
Hang on, remind me again. The Topps 50/50 was that like special collector's
That's a
edition set, right?
exactly with each card
Right.
of his 50 home runs and 50 steals having a different picture. And most of them
Right.
are base cards, paper, but then there were some
Right.
insert, short print, chrome cards like this one that I just
Right.
talked about. And it's
Like
just a
what the
home run
Topps
number,
now release.
yeah, home run number 23. So it's nothing, not a, special home run, but still orange refractor, chrome card.
Right. Orange refractor is numbered out of 25.
hmm
I it's a lot more rare. So I think, man, it is appealing because it's a lot more rare. It's way more niche.
hmm
Um, there is a set collecting component. I think I don't know where the All King stands because I don't know if it's like a
All
balloon
aces.
price right now. Oh, sorry, All Aces,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sorry, the pitching version.
But it is a case hit,
I don't know
right?
where.
After you're talking about, I think it's a case hit, or
Right.
is it?
I don't think the original All Aces was a
Oh, you're
case set.
right.
I
You're
think it
right.
was
Yeah.
literally it was just like an insert.
Insert. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
SP.
I don't know if this is like that price is just people really going crazy because the new All Aces is like it's a real SSP.
hmm
And they're just kind of falling for it. The one thing I do like about the All Aces, it obviously would be a lot pretty liquid. Not that you need anything more liquid than Otani cards.
yeah.
Um, and it's also the eye appeal. I'm not sure what the 50/50 looks, but I would assume I think most people would prefer the all aces. I'm gonna I'm gonna take the risk and I'm gonna take the all aces. The
Mm.
liquidity of the all aces, the popularity,
Yeah.
it's still gonna grow. I just a little hesitant on whether that price will hold.
Yeah.
If it's kind of like a hype price, but I like the way it looks. I think even if you're just a straight collector, and I think that's probably a big reason why the price is it is what it is. I think a lot of people want it for their collection
hmm
because of the eye appeal. So I'm gonna go all aces.
Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna make it quick. I agree with you 100%, and I think the orange refractor, because it is in a set of 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases, each of those cards have refractors, right? I believe. So it's not just the number 25. That home run specifically is number 25, and that's a parallel of that card. But home run number 24, I think, also has an orange refractor, and home run 25 has a. So there's a lot of refractor parallels in that limited set as well. And I like the fact with the All Aces 2023, I believe was the first year they issued that. So it's like it's equivalent for me. Why I like my 2022 home field advantage set was the first year they kind of reintroduced that subset into the cards, and now every year subsequent from that is it's being offered each year. So like 2023 All Aces was when it was launched, so to speak, and so I like that aspect of it too. And visually, I agree with you. I think the All Aces looks great. So. Easy sweep for the All Aces. Although I do think it's overpriced, but at the same time, is anything Ohtani overpriced now? In a week we're like, oh, what a deal, what a steal. So I feel like that's what we're saying a lot these days. All right, thanks again for all our listeners who tune in week after week. We appreciate you guys, and we'll have a brand new episode for you, I believe Friday for this week. Talk to you then. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Cards to the Moon. We'd really appreciate you subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also connect with each of us on Instagram at 5cardguys, or you can follow Hyung at Integrity Sports Cards, or John at TradeU at Recess. You can also check us out at 5cardguys.com. Thanks again, and hope to connect soon.